Okay, head over this way. And more digging. Alrighty, nope, nothing, now we're checking. Let's go down here. Usually whenever there's a hole, there's a red portal to get you back up, so don't worry too much about falling. Can we fuse to this one? We can! Alright. 1 down, 5 to go. As we will see... Sorry, headset moving, scratching head. Back there. 1 pinwheel is spinning. Beautiful. Alright, so 1 down, 5 to go, I guess. I guess I said that earlier, but I know we only had found one. We hadn't activated it yet, so you gotta activate all of them too. That's a whole process. Anyway, hop on this guy here. Let's go ahead and fly. I believe we want to go to the left. I guess we're kind of trying to just clear it, go top right to top left, and go that sort of thing. Hole here is probably way back up, so let's just jump right down. I don't see one, but there might be one around here. Oh, die! Can I kill you? Nope, nope, die! Yeah, die! These little shark things are annoying! Come hither, my friend. There we are. There we are. Words. Nah. So we get a red portal back up and a gold kinstone piece. Very nice. Let's go ahead and grab... And a green rupee for that matter. I mean, green rupees. That's pretty legit. I mean, we already have 500, so it won't really do anything for us. But regardless, it's a green rupee. We collected it, and we now have it in our possession, which is very nice. I mean, do you have a green rupee? I have a green rupee now. I mean, you should reassess your life situation because you don't have a green rupee. And all the while, I do. So you might want to think about that in the long run and figure out what exactly lies in your future with the lack of a green rupee. Anyway, we got another gold kinstone piece right there. So now we have 2 under our belt. Oh, and I just rolled into that instead of grabbing it with my thing. There are 50 mysterious shells in each of these. Very nice. Let's go ahead and grab this one as well. How many do we have now? Probably have a butt ton. Where's the oh, look at that. Full map. Huh. That's nice. 248. Nice. Very cool. Let's go ahead and hop in here. We've cleared the top left, so let's kind of move down to the left and kind of just work our way around. I'm going to hop in this thing just to get some extra height because I'm a little paranoid about this sort of thing. Don't mind me. Hop over here. Go down this hole. This actually may look a little bit more complicated than it is, and it kind of is, I guess, but just, you know, be careful with it and, like, do your best to just kind of clear the entire area. Don't worry about falling down pits, because even if it looks like there's not a way back up, there generally is a way back up, so don't worry too much about that. Before we progress here, we're going to go ahead and switch back to our Gush Jar, as this Lakitu here is going to get in the way. Suck away his cloud. Go ahead, slap him in the face, and he should die. Very nice. And then I want to go back and switch to my shield again, just because that's my best generic item to have. We can fuse with this one if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and take, I think it's this one. It is. Alright, so that's 2 out of 5. We're making our way there. Alrighty. 2 out of 5. Cool beans. So let's go ahead and hop right back then, because I guess we need to find more of them. So what was I going to say? Yeah, keep clearing, just work your way around and just try to make sure that you don't worry too much about like falling down holes, whatever, because a lot of time there is a way back up. And usually if you ignore a hole, you're ignoring something that you should be exploring. So keep that in mind. Anyway, because we're just kind of exploring here, I'm going to go off a little bit off topic for a bit. I hope you guys don't mind. I had this interesting thought earlier today. I went to go see Captain America, the Winter Soldier sequel to the first movie. If you're watching this later on, you know, if you're watching this in year 2016, I know that Captain America, the first Avenger, came out in, I think, 2012 or something like that. Or 2011, maybe. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Winter Soldier came out in 2014. Came out a few weeks ago when this video is. 50 more mysterious shells. Very nice. Anything up here? Oh, okay, cool. Let's go down this hole here before we progress any farther. Very good movie. I liked it a lot. I like the way that the recent Marvel movies kind of, it seems as more and more movies come out, they're more, like, all the movies as a whole are more and more connected. And that, you know, that intrigues me. I don't know, it's kind of neat, because they're not, like, you know, they're a good standalone. Like, the film itself was good by itself, but as a whole, it just makes me excited for the entire product even more. Okay, so now we're at a crossroads. I'm gonna go ahead and go north here for a second. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna go north just to make sure. Because I think this is a bit shorter. Yeah, there's a place to fuse here. Do we have the right one? I think we do, actually. We do! Okay, very nice. And that's going to be 3 out of 5. Only 2 remain, but we don't have any kinstones on us, so... this is a hole. No, it's not a hole. Okay, let's go to this one. I should remember the way back, because I know that other thing is there, so gotta keep that in mind. Is this a kinstone? It is! Alright, only 1 more kinstone remains. We just gotta... so there is one... We just gotta find one more hole, I guess, because there is one right by the beginning, so we just work our way back once we find 1 more kinstone. or once we fuse one more kinstone. I'm going to clear this real quick to make sure there's nothing. Oh, we got a blue kinstone piece. Not what we're looking for, but helpful, I guess. Helpful in our overall quest. Overall Quest. It sounds, you know, I would bet money that there's already a shitty indie game out there called Overall Quest. Sorry to the indie gaming community or whatever, but I guarantee you there's already an indie game out there called Overall Quest. You probably play as a Mario ripoff in overalls, collecting overall coins to save the world from the corduroy overlord. If that's not already a thing, make it a thing, please. That would make me so happy. Okay, there we go. Die, please, sir. I gotta kill both of you, so if you were to work that out. That's interesting. You know, one of the things about indie games that I guess one of the things I don't like about indie games, and I guess shitty films for that matter too, is kind of an overwhelming matter. Is that stuff like that? There's very few pieces of fictional work that do a good job of creating their own like universe. Of the few, I would say Zelda's one is a very good example of, you mentioned a Zora to a Zelda fan, they know what that is. You know, that's a race of people that have their own history. It's not super fleshed out like something out of Star Wars, you know, something like if you're, Alderaan, that's a planet from Star Wars. People are from there. It's, it's got its own history and everything. Or Star Trek or something like that. Or Lord of the Rings. I don't know a whole time about Lord of the Rings, but I do know it has a very fleshed out universe. So one of my main what's the best way to put this? One of my main issues with a lot of, albeit maybe not shitty, but some poor indie games, I believe, is that a lot of them kind of, I guess, well, I mean, its story isn't really the main purpose of a lot of indie games, and I understand that gameplay is a lot of the time, but I feel like as far as gameplay goes, or as far as games as a whole go, I think the point when we're gonna need to reach a point where story and gameplay is important to both, because as far as big budget goes, it's really just gameplay, or not even, it's just graphics at this point. It's just visual effects. It's something that make people go ooh and ah. And then to indie developers, it's all just gameplay. So, you're a lot of the time indie games. I mean, they have that quote unquote 8-bit style. It's not 8-bit style. It's them, not paying money, or maybe not paying because they don't have the money probably, but not having the money for to hire an artist, or to put work towards a fully developed engine. That, I mean, and I'm not saying it's them being lazy. I'm just saying it's that they don't have money for that sort of thing, because respect to guys that do that sort of thing, but a lot of the time they just don't have the money to invest in a full-blown engine, a full-blown whatever. So that's why we get all these crappy 2D side-scrollers, and good ones too, I guess. But that's why we get all these 2D side-scrollers from that, because people can't invest enough money into fully fleshed universe, a fully fleshed kind of background, whatever. So that's why I appreciate games by companies made like Nintendo and all that jazz, is because they actually spend a lot of time investing money that they do have, because they've been around in the industry long enough, into things that help flesh out a game, into things that help. I struggle to say immerse you in. Immersion is a kind of it's picky term in the universe, I guess, but it's one of those in the gaming universe. But it's just one of those things that I believe it's important in gameplay, and I believe it's important. It's something that helps me. So what I'm doing now, albeit a fairly simple story, Minish Cap has. It has one. I mean, I mean, King Gustav is it was a king of Hyrule. If you know Zelda, you know what Hyrule is. It's like, I mean, you may not know, it's not all of us have read Hyrule story, word for word, whatever, or, not all of us are, timeline theorists, but, there are people like that for a reason, because there is a timeline to theorize. There is a whole thing to look into. So because of that, it just adds, you don't feel like you have to learn the universe when you play a Zelda game. There already is a universe there. You're just adapting yourself into Link's character as a way to kind of throw yourself into that whole mix and say, okay, I'm Link. I know who Link is. I know what Link wants to do. How do I portray myself? And how do I act in order to most accurately do what he would do? How do I save Hyrule, all that jazz? Anyway, that's enough off topic for now. Let's go ahead and fuse this last kinstone, and that will unveil the next area of where we need to go, which is very nice. We made some decent progression here. A cool little puzzle type area there, albeit a bit confusing the first time you play it because this is all pretty familiar looking and everything. Does, you know, it's hard to distinguish spots from spots, but just be careful. Go down in that section if you get confused. Don't be afraid to look up a walkthrough it, or just, you know, draw out a map or something like that. It can be a little bit confusing. Just work your, you know, do your best. Figure out, just go in all the pits, go in all the red tornadoes, and do your best with that sort of thing. Anyway, let's go into this big tornado here. Got another wind crest right there. Hold of the sacred power there. Yeah, we got it. Cool. Hey, we found another wind crest. Now we have one more point of travel when we use the Ocarina of Wind. Now, how do you build something like this on top of a cloud? Maybe someone lives inside. If so, perhaps we could ask them for the element. It's worth a shot, Link. Well, we're going to ask them for the element next time on The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time for more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Minish Cap.